gentlemen, from one of the places that I've been there before, Puerto Rico, the island, a beautiful island, I can say it, is joining us Kevin Iglesias. Kevin, thanks for giving me the pleasure and joining us on this interview. How are you? Welcome, let's say welcome to 2022 year.
Thank you. I really appreciate this moment and in your time to this interview. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I know. Since we gathered together in New York, and of course, when I say gathered together, now we're living times where it's hard to see. Right now, we gather again the way we used to be at the fights and everything. I know we're seeing right now shows the little by little. They coming, people and gather together and join the fights and support also this movement. But tell us, for you guys in Puerto Rico, how is the situation going on when it comes to boxing?
Well, this couple of 2 years from this COVID started, it's been so hard for us. Boxing world. I mean, haven't got enough shows to perform. Because of the COVID situation. This up and down. Contagious. It's been hard for us here in Puerto Rico to open a boxing show.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, we're hoping that times change and other things comes in order to make fights the way we used to gather together. I know that there's a lot of restrictions. If I'm not mistaken, there right now people, some of them they take the shot, the vaccine, and I mean for those people that they do that, I mean I can say maybe they're doing the right, maybe they don't. Because some of them they disagree taking the vaccine shot, so I don't blame them. Everybody's free to do, whatever they want to. But as we talking about boxing, we miss, these moments where we gather a lot of people together and join these events. I know we're talking about events. You've been in the corner or training camp where Edgar Berlanga and Machado. Can you name us, like, how is it for you now to see these camps, the way it works now? Can you describe
Yeah, sure.
us?
This has been like a little bit tough for us trainers and boxers to gather and in because of the COVID situation, to have a limit person. Now we can't have a group of people train at the same time or at the same gym because of the COVID. And it's been a little bit rough, but we try to have the arrangement with the people that owns the gym and have those type of arrangement to gather all those and.
I understand, and when it comes to boxing, we just watched recently fights like Teofimo Lopez going against George Kambosos, where a lot of people call it that was an upset. I mean, with all due respect to Teofimo, I know he's a great boxer. He got great skills, but on this type of fight where he faced a George Kambosos, where he was very hungry, because he mentioned in other interviews like my goal is to get those titles. I know he's gonna defend it, and I'm gonna try to snatch all of them. But I think it's gonna be interesting. We saw the outcome, and I mean, congrats to Kambosos, because his effort and all the sacrifice that he put it on the fight that he had with Teofimo Lopez. Hey, he made it happen. So can you tell us How do you see now the division, the lightweight division, where we see Kambosos, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, and there's more. I mean, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, all these fighters now. The eyes are they're all of them are on Kambosos now. So even Isaac that he just faced Gervonta Davis. What do you think about this division?
I mean, it's hot. That the lightweight division is very, very, very hot right now. I mean, now we can add one more on that lightweight division, the list. The people, Cruz. I mean, Cruz. Right now, he's on the list for my eyes. I mean, all those boxers, Teofimo Lopez, even though he lost, he have his rich loss. I respect him always. He's, this is tough. I mean, now Lomachenko is, going back where he, used to be, getting these titles, getting these fights, like, nothing happened. I mean, Davis, he performed good with Cruz. That lightweight division is gonna be good fights in the near future. David Haney, good bosser, technical. I mean, it's a hard, it's good. It's hot and good. The lightweight division.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to fighters, I mean, can you describe me how, let's say, do you see in the future of seeing George Kambosos defending all the titles against, maybe an example I'm gonna give you, because Ryan Garcia just made a comment right now that he can go over. I mean, of course, everyone now is up to George Kambosos, and of course he has all the titles. But what can you see if this match happens? Let's say Ryan Garcia versus George Kambosos. Do you think that the speed and power that Ryan Garcia possesses, do you think that is enough in order to bring a defeat or win as a unanimous decision, whatever it comes the outcome? Do you think that has the skills in order to defeat George Kambosos, or George Kambosos is just another fighter where he says that I trained very well, I took this fight so seriously? I mean, of course, everyone takes the fight seriously, but the sparring partners, hey, let's not forget, Manny Pacquiao was as a sparring partner on George Kambosos, and when we're talking about Manny Pacquiao, we're talking a name, so... What do you see on this match if it happens in the future? George Kambosos versus Ryan Garcia.
I mean, first of all, they're both good fighters, and they both hungry for success. We understand that perfectly. But I gotta go with Ryan Garcia, even though people underestimate him and talk about he's a YouTuber or whatever people say. But Ryan Garcia, I seen he demonstrate me as a boxing fan that he, even though he has the crystal chin and he got dropped recently, but he came back quick. I mean that fight was like, okay, I thought that he was not gonna go up, but he recovered very, very quick. And he kept his pace, fighting pace. He never slowed down. Even he went up to he went up all levels. So for me, that's gonna be a very, very tough fight because Kambosos is a hungry boxer. Even though I don't know him that much, but he demonstrated me also that he can fight, and it's scary because they're on their peak, they're on their time. So even though Ryan is haven't been active recently, but it's gonna be a tough fight to judge, But
exactly.
And I gotta go with Ryan Garcia.
Well, hopefully we get to see these matches, because eventually their names right there, like I mentioned in the beginning before, uh, Isaac Cruz, he just proved that he's not just another fighter. Like, I mean, with all due respect to Isaac Cruz, I think Ryan Garcia called it as a, if I'm not mistaken, as a C fighter. I don't see it as a C fighter, because he just proved that he went over a Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is a name where I can see he's a boxer that knocked him out. Most likely, all whoever comes in front of him. It was supposed to be Raleigh versus Gervonta. Now is they send the mandatory now. They has to face each other. So Gervonta has to face Raleigh. And I think it's gonna be great for this match if it happens. We don't know if it's gonna take time or in the middle of maybe May, or I mean April. Who knows? But of course, the fans, they want to see it. And when it comes to Isaac Cruz, Isaac just mentioned, put me the names whoever you want to. I'll fight whoever is in front of me. So, and I think Isaac Cruz wants Ryan Garcia. What do you think if this match happens? Isaac Cruz versus Ryan Garcia, because Isaac, he just, I mean, they call it the Mexican Mike Tyson, and he has a little bit of style of Mike Tyson. I'm not saying, a lot of people maybe they're gonna judge me and say, "Hey, are you crazy?" No, but the way he comes and the way he moves and the strategy that he puts on the ring, it looks like you see a small Mike Tyson, and he's very composed. He has a great footwork too, and I think he needs only a little bit more, because he took the fight in very short time when he faced Gervonta Davis. But hey, he went out there and he said, "I'm gonna give it everything." So, and he proved that. And the only thing disappointed, I would say, that Gervonta on that night, he said it. He said it, that he doesn't deserve the rematch. In my opinion, I think the fight fans, they would like to see a rematch against Gervonta Davis. Why? Because I think Isaac Cruz now, I feel like he's gonna be more prepared for this fight. So what do you think if it happens, let's say in Isaac Cruz versus Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, that's another fight that the boxing fan won't miss, because he demonstrate he Floyd to my admire too as an athlete. He saw Isaac that he didn't came to just to play around, even though boxing we cannot play. He demonstrated that he can box and he can make pressure. I think that versus Ryan Garcia, like, he doesn't stand a chance. I go to Cruz. I mean, Cruz is strong, make a lot of pressure, and he could box too. I mean, he could go front. He brawl. Come from the bottom, brawling all those people. He been fighting, class people, and I think that he won't stand a chance.
I feel like, I mean, I agree with you, and I said this. I know Ryan has speed, he has power too, but I think, in my opinion, he hasn't faced a fighter like Isaac Cruz. Like I said, he's very composed, and even though he took the fight in a notice, very short, and the time, he said it, okay, this is my opportunity. I said it in some of the interviews of Isaac. He said it, I know I want to face the best, and whoever is in front of me. And he came, Gervonta Davis, and he took the fight. He says, even though, if he knocks me out, I'm going to bring my best. And he did that. And hey, and I feel like if Ryan faces Isaac Cruz, I mean, with all due respect to Ryan, I know he has a speed, power, but I think if he catches one of the punches from Isaac Cruz, He's gonna
It's
be done.
done.
It's done. I can see him. I can see it because, hey, Gervonta Davis, he has a power where he knocked him out people, and Isaac took those punches in the face like clearly, and then like he just maybe he shake it off his body and says, hey, I'm gonna show him why they call me Pitbull, because hey, I'm gonna go with everything, and he proved that. So I feel like
Yeah.
Ryan. I feel this is gonna be
Very.
interesting for the fight fans if they watch this match, because it's pretty much interesting. Both have power, but I think a lot of people they might gonna say, oh, Ryan has the speed, has power. Yes, but we already see that Isaac can take punches.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Brian, and if that happens, then you have a pass test, because then if Davis and Rowley have this this match, then we can put Rowley on the lightweight division, because even though he has this situation with the law, but he's still there, and we gotta put him there, because he has this champion, and he's fighting, but that's gonna be interesting, because that's another boxer that I didn't include on the list, and people are ducking him. He's coming very, very quick. He has 20 something fights, and he can demonstrate people that he didn't fall nobody, like he fought people, and he's there for some reason. He's not there just he just land, he fought, and we gotta respect that. Um, but it's that this lightweight division is hot.
Yeah, of course it
I
is.
love.
I mean, I like the fact that Devin Haney just won against um, Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz is another tough fighter, and as you mentioned, I mean, this is tough division where we see everyone wants to get the titles. Everyone wants to get the opportunity to face George Kambosos. I mean, George Kambosos said it. I mean, if Devin Haney wants to snatch the titles from him, I think this fight can we see it on this year 2022. So we don't know when, but I think eventually. I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna happen. He will be the first fighter to face George
Campos.
Kambosos. George Kambosos. So I think it's very interesting. And when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, if we can see it back in fights, I think it's possible. I think until he recovers himself, we send him or the best vibes and prayers over him, because I think he got injured, if I'm not mistaken, or something happened medical. But I think Teofimo can come back and face whoever it be in the list, because now this is like we playing let's say we playing domino. We moving the everything around, and you don't know who's gonna be up, who's gonna be down. But this is interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, uh, George Kambosos Jr. There's a lot of boxers that he needs to look out to, because the list is kind of long, and they're not bums. For
No,
me,
with all due
it's
respect to
hot.
boxers, I mean they are there in some place where they gain the opportunity to fight for a world title, and I think George Kambosos is right there in front of the door, waiting for whoever appears, whoever wins first. But first of all, we're gonna see Rolly versus Gervonta Davis. What do you think of this match? I mean, I think we saw already Gervonta Davis. He could be in trouble. I mean, a lot of people they might gonna criticize me and say, "Oh, did you see any time Isaac put in trouble Gervonta Davis?" I said this, yes, because even though he took the fight in a short notice. If he's the knockout boxer, he couldn't win over Isaac. I give it a lot of credit to Isaac. And a lot of people might be they gonna criticize me and say, "Oh, you crazy, pal," because I mean Gervonta couldn't knock him out Isaac, but hey, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think I seen Rolly fight in his last performance. For my opinion, he haven't you know he fought, but he wasn't like he didn't have his confidence. He was like for distance, and it was like kind of like hard to decide if he was ready to face Devontae, because Devontae, even though that he on his last fight with Cruz, it was like a real like undecisive. He wasn't ready. Like he took that fight just few months, and for me it was like game changing. And for Rolly and facing Davis, it will be like a little bit like the same, because they both were inactive. Because what happened with with Rolly, and basically to Davis, he has his recent fight with people, and those shots on the body and the head, it's gonna be like it could be an arrangement, because they both they're good fighters. I don't take away that, but it's gonna be like an easy work for Davis. He's gonna have fun, because Rolly, I don't know if he having like you said, it will be like mid-April, May, probably June, July, because it's too reason to put them to fight. That's my my point of view. I think it will be a good fight. I don't take away that, but it will be a nice fight, and I will be enjoying it.
Yes. One thing that I can say from these two fighters, that eventually both of them they have skills, is like whoever takes the first punch and resists the power from the other one another, we're gonna see who has a glass chin. So that's gonna be very interesting if Rolly is able to catch one of the punches from Gervonta and stay still, or Rolly or Gervonta is gonna catch one of the punches from Rolly, and we'll see if he's gonna trumble Gervonta. So that's very interesting for all the fight fans to see who's gonna win and who carries more power against each other. So
Yeah, I Rolly, like I like his trash talk. I mean, when they were having their interview, fight interview, I mean, I enjoyed it, but
yeah, I know. I know they're gonna start trash talk. I mean, I feel like maybe more Rolly, because when it comes to Gervonta, I know Gervonta. It makes
quiet.
it's quiet. It's a quiet fighter. I like that too, because he brings everything on the ring. He likes to leave everything, whatever you mentioned about Gervonta, but when it comes to fights, he can come and fight. So even though
Yeah,
Rolly does the same thing, he fights, but I think that's gonna be a hype for the fight. So I think it's gonna be interesting, and looking forward to see more fights in the future. Kevin, is there any message that you would like to add on this interview and share with all the fight fans and all the viewers from this interview?
moment. To shout out to the ER emergency room on Veteran Affairs Hospital where I work at. To those people that work with me, and keeping people safe, curing people. It's been tough year for us. I want to say to Janet Jacobs, Jonathan Torres, Miss Canet, Isa Liriano, Luis Losada, and all the colleges from ER. Shout out to all of them because they work hard for keeping the COVID. You know what it is. It's been hard for us.
I agree with you, Kevin, and I have a lot of respect for all the people from the medical field because doctors, nurses, people that you just mentioned, the ER people that eventually work day and night in order to cure or treat people who come with the COVID, and you guys are the real heroes without cape, without the mask, or without, when I say the mask, I'm talking about the the way we see heroes now, like we're talking about Batman, Robin, and all these people that we watch on TV. You guys are the real heroes, and I want to send a big shout out to all of you, and I would say worldwide, because you guys work
Thank you.
hard. You guys work hard, and I pray to God that keep you protected. And also we gotta do ourselves our job to also protect ourselves until things work better, different. And like I always said, better days will come ahead. We gotta stick
Sure.
to pray and to God, and request God to help us to keep us ourselves safe, because now we see this thing doesn't discriminate. This thing is fast. This thing COVID is totally no joke. So hey,
Yeah.
I would say stay safe until we meet again, Kevin, and of course it's a pleasure to talk with you about boxing, and what's next for you, Kevin. Talk about.
Um. Well, right now, we are preparing. Since we in Berlanga's training camp. I'm looking forward to in Berlanga the next March 19th. In the Hulu Theater. I'll be there, and hopefully on April 3rd, it's gonna be a fight. In, Patrick Corras, so the right now, so he's a good, nice fighter. He has, you know, to for new sooner fight for that April.
That's good. That's good news that you bring in a fighter that eventually he's gonna perform, and we're gonna stay tuned. If I'm not mistaken, I think Top Rank or something like that, we is gonna appear, right? Make his appearance, right?
Sure, yeah. Hopefully, it will happen. If God will, we be there.
That's good. That's good. So until we meet again, Kevin, it's a pleasure to speak with you about boxing, and looking forward to have another interview in the future. So I hope it's soon. So thanks again for your time. For it's always a pleasure to me to have what we always love when it comes to talk about boxing. Hey, we enjoy it.
Thank you for I appreciate.
You're welcome, Kevin. Take care.